So it's Friday night after day one of Pro Tour Journey to Nyx. I finished day one 5-3, which objectively speaking is pretty good. I make day two, and I'm in not the best spot, but not a terrible spot either. I did go 0-2 in my last two rounds, which was a little frustrating. I had some pretty bad draws in both matchups back to back. I actually played a control mirror, actually just the bug mirror, against Paul Rietzel, in which I cast one total spell in the entire match. I actually kept a hand that had a bunch of Scrylands, Kiora, and some, not particularly good removal in game one. Got Thought Seized, scryed 3 times, putting land in the bottom, and just drew all land, and literally didn't play a spell in game one. Then in game two, I mulliganed and kept a Scryland and not really all that much mana hand. Was able to stalled on 2 land and eventually drew a 3rd land and played an Ashiok, which he immediately heroes downfalled, and then just played his own planeswalkers and killed me. So it was a pretty uneventful match, though. It was kind of epically and hilariously one-sided. Does Magic sometimes, though. I do feel like I used up a little bit of my good fortune in the draft portion, where I managed to go 2-1 with a deck that was pretty bad. Though I did feel like I got unlucky that my deck was bad. I actually played against the player who was feeding me to my right in the last round, and he was blue-red, and my deck ended up being white-black. So, pretty clearly in a good seat for that. But my Theros pack basically just didn't give me any cards. My first pick was a Leonin Snarecaster because there was nothing else. My second pick was a Disciple of Phoenix, which was okay in my deck. My third pick was a Scryland, and then my fourth pick was something else just mediocre. My deck ended up with 0 3-drops and multiple 2/4 5 or 4-drops, and even a 2/5 4-drop. I had 5 forecasting cost creatures with a combined power of 9 in my deck. So not the best, but I managed to escape with a 2-1 record. So was feeling pretty fortunate there. Went 3-2 in the constructed portion so far, beating a blue-white heroic deck, a sort of 4-color mid-range deck, and a blue-black control deck, before losing to Darwin Castle and his white weenie deck, and then Paul. I always seem to lose to Darwin. It's pretty crazy just how bad my record is against Darwin. I feel like I get unbelievably unlucky against him sometimes, but who knows? It dates back like 15 years that I've been playing him in tournaments and everything. So he just seems to got my number. But anyway, going into tomorrow, I feel pretty good. I hopefully can draft a better deck this time around, and if I do draft a better deck, hopefully I will put up a better record. Maybe I can even 3-0, and then go into the constructed portion. I like our deck. I do, as I was saying in my last video log here, I do wish I'd had more time to test and find something that was sort of more to my liking. I think that our deck is good, but it does sort of have just a lot of reactive stuff in it, whereas I generally prefer to play proactive types of decks. There weren't really any decks in this tournament that I saw that I was like, oh wow, didn't think of that or whatever. I am a big fan of Patrick Chapin's deck, which is just a junk sort of mid-range type of deck with a lot of cards that I'm a big fan of. I really kind of am jealous of him for playing, Reaper of the Wilds and Fleeceman Lion and stuff in this tournament. So, but he's doing really well. He's 8-0. So is Raptor Joshua Layton with our bug deck. So we'll see how day 2 goes, and hopefully maybe I can even put together an undefeated finish and make it to the top 8. But if not, then we'll see just how high up there I can get, and I'll be back with more information on how that went. So anyway, thanks. I'll see you later.